Right, so if you're here, you want to learn how to do SEO. And in this free 2+ hour course, I'm going to teach you exactly step by step with over-the-shoulder training exactly how to do it, right? How to go about and ranking a website on the #1 position in Google. I don't hide anything. I go over off-page SEO, on-page SEO, technical SEO, how to build a website, how not to build a website, penalties, PBNs, backlinking strategies, and a bunch of other stuff. Essentially every single thing you need to rank a website #1 on Google. And so without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Again, it's going to be a long course, but if you go through it all and most importantly, apply what's taught in it, I'm sure you will succeed. Because it's not just about watching the course, it's about watching it and then going out and applying it. Because the best way to succeed with SEO and honestly anything in life is to actually do the stuff, right? Don't just watch the theory, actually go out and apply it. And I do mention all that in the course. That being said, hopefully you like it. Before I let you go though, this video is sponsored by Vetted.com with 3 T's. And what Vetted is a place where you can outsource some of your SEO efforts, right? Whether that's backlinking, content creation, technical SEO, even consulting, because you can go out and talk with these SEO experts. You can go to Vetted.com and outsource your efforts to them. Because you're going to see throughout this course, I mentioned that there's a lot of things you can outsource, because I firstly like to explain how you can do it, and then if you want to save time, because business is all about saving time and outsourcing the stuff that you don't want to do to other people that don't know how to do it, you go to Vetted.com. Again, I'm going to shut up and let's get straight into it. Hopefully you like it and let's make some money. Cheers. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the second video here in the Academy. Today I want to talk to you about how to make money with SEO, because this is the main point of this course. You need to know how to make money with it before you know how to do it. So there are two main ideas. The first one is rank sites for clients and get paid monthly by doing so. So this is, for example, say you approach a dentist and you tell him, look, I do SEO, this is what I do exactly. I'm going to take your site and start ranking it until it reaches #1. Once it reaches #1, you'll keep on paying me so I can maintain the rankings. So basically, he'll be paying you since you start working till he reaches #1, and then he'll keep on paying you to maintain his rankings. Basically, he'll pay you on a monthly basis for you to do your work on their site. Now, the second way is rank your own site and sell leads to companies, for example, dentists, plastic surgeons, plumbing companies, etc. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Say, for example, you rank a site about dentists, or let's say plumbing, because that's the example I have here. Let's say you rank a site, your own site, you own the asset, so the asset is your site. You rank a site for plumbing. And then you'll have a phone number and an email which will redirect to the company that you're sending leads to. So for example, before you set this up, and we'll talk about this in the future, but basically you get in touch with the company, and instead of telling them, let's say a plumbing company, instead of telling them, let me work on your site on a monthly basis, like the previous example, you tell them, so I already have a site and I already have it ranking on top of Google, and I get a ton of calls, a ton of emails of people wanting the services, and I don't have anywhere to send them to. So do you want to take these clients? And most likely they'll say yes, because it's free money for them. And that's how you that's how you sell the leads. So basically you'll redirect the phone number on your site to theirs, as well as the email. But more on this later. This is just for you to get an idea of how exactly we can make money with SEO. Then there are less common methods. That being said, even though they're less common, they aren't less profitable. These are extremely profitable as well. So after we finish this course and have a couple of clients under our belt, you'll be able to sell your services to other individuals doing SEO, or even digital marketing agencies looking to outsource some work. But again, more on that later. Then you again be able to sell your already ranked site. So instead of selling leads on your ranked sites, you can sell the sites. You can rent your ranked sites with an overlay plugin. So instead of sending leads with a phone number and an email redirecting to the companies that are paying you for leads, you flat out rent the whole site with a plugin that we'll be covering later on. Again, more on that on later modules. All these are explained in details in the next modules. This was just a video for you to be aware how money is made with SEO and the different ways you can do it yourself. Okay, so that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Hey, so here I want to talk to you about SEO versus paid ads, and I want you to understand the difference between them. This will be a quick video, but I think it's important. So first of all, paid ads are great. I mean, I'm sure you've clicked some paid ads, but this course obviously is focused around SEO. But I want to tell you that some figures that just so you have a more clear picture of what the difference between them is. So ads have less clicks, and I'm sure you know about this, but if you didn't know, now you know, because people are keen to click on organic search results because they convey more confidence. So that's one of the reasons why Google is constantly trying to make ads more look less like ads, you know. So recently they just recently, like a couple of years ago maybe, they just changed how the ads looked. So previously the ads were, I think, blue, and now they're the same color as organic search results, and they only have like an AD saying ad in black on the corner. So they're trying to integrate and make the ads look more like organic search results. That's because people tend to click on organic search results instead of ads, because people value way more someone that got at the top of Google by working hard or by being a good company than someone that's just paying to be there. Okay. Again, the ads have less clicks. It's about 30-70, 70 for the organic results and 30 for the ads. This is not exact figures, but it's more or less that. Now, second thing, if you stop paying, you stop getting leads. So this is, of course, really simple, but if you run an ad for lead generation or for anything else, as soon as you pay, as soon as you stop paying it, you stop getting leads because the ad will be shut down. That's not the case with SEO. SEO is forever, not exactly forever, but once you're up there, it requires low maintenance to stay on top. That's the main difference. So ads, you stop paying, you stop getting results. SEO, you stop working, not stop working, but do a little bit of maintenance, you still get results. And SEO is a long-term game, which makes it more efficient in terms of costs. This is the big difference between SEO and paid ads. It was a quick video. I just wanted you to be aware of this. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Hey, welcome. So in this video, I want to cover the SEO keys. And as you can see, I have a little key right here, just to emphasize the fact that these are actual keys. But there are 4 simple keys. SEO breaks down to 4 simple keys, if you want to break it down, which are the following. Page relevancy, domain authority, and this is not to be confused with the domain authority that Moz, an SEO tool, gives you. Later on that I'll explain it. But so page relevancy, domain authority, and link relevancy. And the best site that has the best combination of all these 4 will rank number 1. It's that simple. Now, I want to go over each one individually. Remember, our goal is to increase these 4 points, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, in order to get our site ranked. But speaking about the page relevancy, let's say someone is searching on Google and wants to buy a phone. Everything that's on the page they click on the site, everything from the title to the description to the content to the images, videos, the image alternate text, which I'll talk about later on, everything that's on that page needs to be relevant to what the person is searching for. Okay, so a page relevancy means that the page or the site that's ranking is relevant to the search that person did. It's pretty obvious, but that's basically the first factor. So if someone searches buy some sunglasses, there won't be pages appearing for buying pianos. Okay, so obviously a page needs to be relevant to the search that someone is doing. Okay, now domain authority. This is the most complicated to replicate, and again, this is not domain authority as measured in tools such as Moz, which I'll cover later on what these tools are. But basically, there's a tool in the SEO world that measures domain authority as DA, domain authority, but it actually put like not a trademark, but it's domain authority measured as in their way of measuring domain authority. When I talk about domain authority, I talk about the actual authority of a domain in Google's eyes. Okay, so for example, Forbes is highly authoritative domain, but more on that later. Again, this is the authority of a domain in terms of how powerful it is and how trustworthy it is in Google's eyes. And what determines the authority of a domain are the links that point to that domain, the quality, and where they come from. which we'll talk about in a moment. Then it's also influenced by the click-through rate, which is basically, say someone searches on Google for to buy some sunglasses. Say, for example, if 100 people search and 10 click on your site, your click-through rate is 10%. Okay, the higher the click-through rate, the better. Sometimes it happens that you're ranking number 1 for a certain keyword, and people, instead of clicking your result, click on the second one. So this means that the CTR, the click-through rate for the second result, is higher than for yours, and this will impact your ranking. So if Google sees that people are searching for something and just clicking the second and third results, why would that one be in first if no one is clicking it? So it will be dropped down. Okay, so CTR is important. And what we want to do in the long run is to increase the authority of our domain so that it's easier to rank for our terms. For example, Forbes.com would easily would easily rank for many terms because it's super authoritative. So if they were to publish an article about buying sunglasses, it would probably outrank your site any day because they have an extremely authoritative domain. Then link authority. What matters here is the number of links pointing to your site and the quality of those links. So I'm sure you've heard this before. It's best to have one super powerful link pointing to your site than 10 bad, low powerful links pointing to your site. Sorry. Again, it's important to have a good mix between quality and quantity, but you don't want to have hundreds of bad quality links. You want to have some links and make sure those links are of quality. Then link relevancy, which is the last factor, the last thing that matters about links. Actually, not the last thing, but almost the last one. Links from relevant sites carry more power. So I have here an example. Let's say you have a site about motorcycles, so you want to rank in Google for search terms related to motorcycles. Let's say a car site is linking to your motorcycle site. No bueno, doesn't make any sense. But now let's say a motorcycle site is linking to a motorcycle site. This is good, it actually makes sense. The link is relevant. But keep in mind, I have this in capital letters as well, the power is always transferred. So even though the link is not relevant, the power is transferred. So keep that in mind, okay? Because you won't find relevant links every time. But if you can find relevant links, go for it. But again, relevancy isn't everything. Power is transferred either way. But if a link is relevant, it carries even more power. And then the anchor text, which is actually the last thing that matters about links, is where you can also add a little bit more relevancy. So let's say the anchor text, so it's the text on the link where you can click. Where you can click to go to another site. Let's say there was a motorcycle site linking to our motorcycle site, and the anchor text, so where we would click, if you would click buy a motorcycle, it would redirect them to our site. This would make sense because it's an anchor text which is relevant to the site it's linking to. Okay, so you can play with this. You can have anchor text relevant to the niche or to the site you are trying to rank for. So a link can be relevant in the way, so in two ways, where it comes from and what the anchor text actually is. Make sense? And the perfect process is basically to have a relevant page, which means relevant to the search again. So if someone is searching for sunglasses, your page won't be about pianos, it would be about sunglasses. We also want to have a powerful domain with high metrics. We'll cover metrics later on. You need links from powerful sites, and those links should be semi-relevant. And I say semi-relevant because you won't always find relevant links all the time. And this is basically everything you need to rank in Google, which sounds more simpler than it actually is. But moving on, here you can see the correlation between average domain rating and the ranking in Google. This domain rating is measured. It's called DR. We'll cover this later on, but it's a metric that's measured using another SEO tool, which is called Ahrefs. But again, we'll cover that in a bit. Just the thing I want you to listen here is that the average domain rating or authority, whatever, is highly correlated with the Google position. So the higher the domain authority, the higher the position is in Google. Again, saying domain authority, when I say domain authority, again, it's not the domain authority as measured in Moz, okay, which is what I have right here. So this is a tool called Moz, which measures something called domain authority. When I say domain authority, is how Google looks and trusts a site, okay? It's the actual authority, not as measured in Moz. But now, since we've moved on to the tools, there are several tools that measure how the authority of a domain, how much is the authority of a domain. And I must say that these tools aren't precise, and some of these values can be manipulated. So please don't completely trust these tools. And basically, when you're analyzing a domain, don't just focus on one tool, but I'll cover that later on. But again, what Moz measures is, what Moz measures is domain authority and page authority. As you can see, this is the inside of the tool. We'll be going over how this tool works in a later video. So later on, again, I'll explain to you how to use these tools in detail. I just wanted you to be aware of these 4 principles of SEO, and that there are some tools that can help us measure domain metrics. That being said, I'll see you in the next video. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to another video. Here I want to talk to you about the 2 types of SEO. This will be a quick video, but a really important one. You've probably heard of them. You've probably heard of off-page SEO and on-page SEO, which are basically the 2 types of SEO there are. Now, starting with off-page SEO. This is every activity that drives awareness and traffic to your site. So, link building tactics, for example, so building links to your site, auditing and replicating competitor links, social media properties that have a link back to your site. Everything that drives awareness and traffic to your site is included in the off-page SEO. Now, on-page SEO. This is everything that's done inside your site. So the structure of your site, the ability of the site to index page in Google, duplicate content, the speed of the site or the page, it being mobile optimal, so having a mobile version of your site, the sitemap, the security, if it has an SSL certificate, that green padlock that makes your site HTTPS, the creation and optimization of meta tags, which we'll be talking later on. Image alt text optimization, we'll be talking over that later on. Schema markup, I also have a video on that, just on that later on. Permalinks, which is basically the URL extension. Content optimization, so the headers, images, videos, bullets, basically in-depth and long detailed content optimized for multiple keywords, and internal and external linking structures. And on-page SEO is probably one of the most important types of SEO, even though off-page SEO is extremely important as well, and having links pointing to your site is really, really important. Sometimes you can even just rank with quality content, and that's how powerful on-page SEO is. And people most of the times neglect on-page SEO because it's not sexy, they just want to buy links and get ranked. And most people buy links without having an optimized site. So later on we'll have a video detailed on how to optimize your site for a good on-page SEO. So in this course, you're going to see how to do off-page SEO and on-page SEO properly. But basically, one of the most important things about on-page SEO is the content on your site, which we'll be talking later on again. But basically, you need long and detailed content. Okay, you need H1 and H2 headers. Both headers should have your keywords in them. So either exact match, brand, long tail versions, etc. You should interlink between your pages with inbound and outbound links to authoritative sites, for example, Wikipedia. You should have images, videos, everything. You should give Google signals that you have a proper on-page SEO related to what they're searching. But again, I just wanted to understand the difference between on-page and off-page SEO. We'll have videos later on about on-page SEO and off-page SEO. So let's focus more on off-page SEO later on. For now, I want to talk to you about on-page SEO. So the next videos, I'll go in more detail on how to do on-page SEO, and we'll start that with the keyword research. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hey, welcome to the next video. I want to talk to you about keyword research, and just like the niche selection, keyword research is something that people often overlook. And again, I can speak from experience. When I started doing SEO, I skipped this step completely ahead and came to regret it later. This is because it's something really important that you have to do before you start building your website. And why is this important? Because if you don't know the keywords you're targeting, if you don't know the keywords you're going to try to rank for on your site, it's unthinkable to even start making a site. Makes sense, right? So before you create a site, it only makes sense to know and study and research the keywords you're going to target. And only after you know the keywords you're going to target, you'll create a site with content optimized for those keywords. Now, before we actually get into the actual example, I want to tell you something that's also important regarding keyword research. So as you can see here, the keyword plastic surgery NYC, so for New York City, has about 880 searches per month. And you'd think, okay, I see this keyword, it has a bunch of searches, I'm just going to go after it and just going to try to rank my site for it. What you need to think is that this keyword is extremely competitive. So keywords with more searchers are more competitive, obviously. So you will have a ton of people, a ton of companies with lots of money trying to rank for these keywords, which are extremely competitive. So what's smart to do is to go after keywords that have least competition, less competition and less searches per month. So say, for example, plastic surgery of New York City, plastic surgery in New York City pricing. So you go after a bunch of low-end keywords in terms of searches. And if you add them all up, so if you add 90 plus 80 plus 80 plus 70 plus 70 plus 50 plus 50 and so on, these keywords will have more searches than the one you were previously looking at. So basically, instead of going after a keyword that has a bunch of searches, which is highly competitive, go after keywords that are less competitive because they have less searches, but go after more of those. And if you go after a bunch of those less competitive keywords, the searches will start to add up and you'll eventually reach the exact number of that previously competitive keyword, if not more. So what you're doing here basically is going after several keywords around that main keyword. Okay, but let's look at an example right now. I'm going to use a tool called Ubersuggest. You might know it. It's from Neil Patel, but let's get into it. So this is the tool. It's called Ubersuggest. Just search for it and click it. And here we are inside of it. Basically, let's say you have already chosen your niche. Let's say we chose plastic surgery and we chose the city of New York City. What you do is really simple. You just put your keyword in here. Let's say you're targeting the United States. You can choose it here, or if you're targeting Portugal, for example, you can just choose Portugal. Of course, you have to put the Portuguese keyword in, but let's say you're in the United States. Just put your keyword here and select United States. This gives you a bunch of information, blah, blah, blah. We don't care about that. What you care about is this right here, keyword ideas. What this tool does, if you click here, view all keyword ideas, it gives you a bunch of keyword ideas you can target. As you can see, there are like 100 more. And this is what we'll use for our keyword research. We'll just export it to CSV. No thanks. And let's open it up. So this is exactly what the tool gives you. It gives you a list of hundreds of keywords. If you pay for it, it'll give you more. But basically, these are all you need. But it'll give you a list of hundreds of keywords that you can target, as well as their search volume. Again, there'll be some keywords here that won't make much sense. So, for example, in the plastic surgery niche, you'll find keywords that are directed to some surgeons or clinics, for example, Jaeger plastic surgery. I'm not sure what this one, but let me see. For example, Casir plastic surgery. This may be like a doctor or a specific clinic. So these ones you just won't need, just delete them. But basically what you'll do is go here and figure out the keywords that make sense for you to target. So don't target hospitals, don't target specific doctors, just target general keywords. So this one we won't target as well. Just target keywords, for example, so salary. We are also not interested in salaries. We just want keywords that people search in order to actually do a plastic surgery. So for example, pricing, this one is good. I'm just going to bold out the ones that are good. So this one is good. New York, plastic surgery, new IC. This one, not really. We can just delete it. Okay. Oh. Best plastic surgery NYC, of course, of New York, plastic surgery dermatology NYC. This one we can delete as well. Prices, this is a good one. This is a good one. So as you can see, basically go around and select the ones you want to target. Again, this is really simple, but it's important for you to do. So don't just build a site and start putting out keywords over there in a way that doesn't make sense. Make a research. Just go on this tool and take out a list, and now you have ideas for the content you'll be building. Just a quick something. As you can see, the search volume on these ones right here says 0. This isn't entirely true. Okay. It just means that they have low search volumes. It's not 0, but it's low. And the thing I was talking to you about before, so this keyword has about 880 searches per month, so plastic surgery NYC, which means it's a very competitive keyword. But then again, if you target low competitive keywords, if you sum, for example, all this up, it will add up to maybe almost, if not more, than this. So this is the idea here. Don't just target, of course you'll also target these ones because we want to go for competitive keywords as well, but also target the least competitive keywords, which will make a huge difference and will give you an advantage over people just trying to rank for this one. Okay, so you're also trying to rank for all these ones that have lower search volumes. Okay, so that being said, this is how we do a keyword research. There's also just one more thing I want to tell you about. If you go here, if you go to Google and just type your main keyword in, if you go all the way to the bottom, Google also gives you some suggestions. So some other keywords people also search for that might not be included here. Okay, so just take that into account. For example, I don't think best plastic surgery NIC was here included. Let me just double check. Yeah, it wasn't. It had 2018 after it. So make sure you also go to Google and see what people are also searching for, because if Google gives you this information, it means that people are searching for it. And that concludes how you do a keyword research. It's quite simple, but it's just a step that most people often overlook and don't do. But it will be important when you're creating the content and when we're building the site. It'll be important to have a list of keywords that you can just look at them and say, okay, so now we're targeting this. Okay, hope this one helped, and I'll see you on the next one. Hey, how's it going? So today I want to talk to you about the theory behind building your site. Later on, I'll have some videos on the actual practical stuff. But before you can do something practical, you need to know the theory behind it. So what I'm going to talk to you today about are the following 4 points. I'll be teaching you how to build the actual structure for your site. I'll be talking about the meta optimization, the things that make a site great, and some basic plugins and themes you need to install before you can get started. But let me just say something first. I want you to not to rank the homepage, okay? Because internal pages are easier to rank. So don't try to rank your homepage of your site. And there are some reasons behind this. The first reason is that the homepage is meant to be a doorway to your business. It's meant to be clean and with an appealing look. So if you start adding a bunch of content to it, it will look weird and unprofessional. Another reason is that if you rank an inner page, you'll be able to change the permalink and include. So the permalink is the URL, what comes after your URL. You'll be able to include on the permalink your actual keyword. So you'll make that page even more relevant to the keyword you're trying to rank for. Sorry, to the keywords you're trying to rank for. So that's yet another reason not to rank the homepage. And you will see that even without wanting, the inner pages will rank more easy. Will rank easier than the homepage, since they have more content and they're more optimized. Now, that was the first thing I wanted to tell you. So do not rank the homepage. Rank the inner pages. Now, I want to talk to you about EMDs versus branded domains. So an EMD means
an exact match domain. So it's, for example, 24-hour plumber New York City. So exact match domain because your keyword, your exact match keyword is inside the domain. And branded domain means it's a domain that has a brand name in the URL. Okay, so EMDs are easier to rank, just like we've seen before, just like the inner pages, where you have your keyword in the URL. An EMD is also easier to rank because your keyword is in fact in the URL. That's the first thing I wanted to tell you. So EMDs are easier to rank, so they have a higher ranking boost. That said, if you use an EMD the wrong way, you'll end up being penalized. But if you follow the steps on this course, that won't happen. It was just a quick something that to tell you that EMDs have highly likelihoods, not highly likelihoods, but they're more probable of being penalized than branded domains. But if you follow every step on here, you don't need to worry about that. Now, another bad side or not so good side about EMDs is that they may not convey as much trust as a branded domain. That's simply because brands pass on more trustworthiness to people. So if you were to click, for example, an EMD that said 24-hour plumbing nyc.com, it wouldn't convey as much trust as ABC Plumbing or any other brand name, because brands convey trust. So take that in mind when you choose either building an EMD or a branded domain. Take that into account, that branded domains actually have and convey more trust, so people might be inclined to click branded domains instead of EMDs. Now, another less good side is the fact that EMDs can restrict us a little. That is, so let's say your domain is, again, 24-hour plumber nyc.com, and that company offers other services like chimney sweeping. It may not make sense to have a page where we talk about other services not related to plumbing. So, as you can see, there are both good and bad sides to EMDs and branded domains. EMDs have a higher ranking boost, but on the other hand, they may not convey as much trust and may be a little bit less flexible. On the other hand, branded domains do carry more trust and are more flexible, but they can be a little bit harder to rank. That's not to say you cannot rank them. You can all the time, but yeah, that's just the overall picture. And here is a perfect example of that flexibility I was talking about. As you can see on the left, a branded domain, you can have different services. So in this case, you have plumbing services and drainage services, and you can have different locations as well. For example, on the right, let's say your domain exact match domain is Plumber New York. You're restricting yourself to only plumbing services and only in New York. Okay, so that's the basic idea behind these two ways of building a site. Again, exact domain, we are more restricted to a specific niche and location. In this course, we're going to focus more on the right side, on the exact match domain. That's just because the sites are less complex to build. As you can see, we're targeting one location and one service. But if you were to go with the brand name, we would be able to target different locations and different services. But don't worry about the idea here is that SEO will work for both these types of sites. It's just the way they're built. So choose either one of them. Either one of them works just fine. Now, how do links actually work? Links work like a liquid, so they flow. And let's say the red pages are the pages we are trying to rank. We'll be sending links directly to them, but it's also essential to send links to the home page and the other pages above, so that the power of the links flows from top to bottom. So don't just send links to the pages you're trying to rank, in this case the red pages. Also send links to all the other pages. This is because of two reasons. First of all, it would look a bit fishy in Google's eyes to see a site where they only have links to one specific page. That doesn't make much sense. So a normal site has links to all the pages. It has links to the home page, the contact page, the inner pages. So you want to make sure you send links to all the pages. And then how do you make sure that that a link sent to the homepage actually provides value to an inner page? This is where interlinking comes in. Remember, the link power works just like a fluid, just like a liquid. So if you're linking to the homepage, if you send a link to the homepage and that homepage is linking to your inner page, that link juice, that link flow will flow directly to the inner page. So make sure you interconnect your site, and we'll be talking about this later on. Make sure you interconnect your site and the pages in a way that makes sense. For example, you can connect the homepage with the contacts page. Okay, you can connect the contacts page with the page you're trying to rank. Okay, so you have to do what it's called interlinking, so the link juice will flow equally throughout all your site. That said, I'll be covering interlinking later on. This is just a theoretical aspect of it. Now, regarding meta tags optimization, and you can see sometimes I write optimizations with Z's, sometimes with S's. So I know with Z it's the American way, with S it's the British way, so I'm sorry about that. But back to it. It's very important. This is something that's very important on the pages you're trying to rank. And just like I've written here, meta tags are small clues that describe the content of your site. For example, the titles of your articles, or even the site, the description, the articles themselves, the images, the permalinks, the URLs, etc. These are small clues that help Google find your site and know what it's all about. So they're extremely important. I have here an example. So let's say, basically, we want to tell Google the best way to treat our site. So we do the following. We have a main keyword, in this case, plumber NYC. We find long tail versions of our main keyword, so best plumber in NYC, as well as some synonyms or other secondary keywords, okay, such as plumbing company NYC, 24-hour plumber NYC, certified plumber NYC, etc. And what we do is we include these words, these keywords, scattered throughout our website. So in the title of a page, in the URL, in the page descriptions, and other places that we'll see further ahead. But basically, we are giving these little signs, these little clues to Google, so that Google better understands what our site is about. But later on, we'll cover exactly how to optimize these tags. Now, what makes a site great? There are a couple of things, but these are the main ones. So you need long content. I know this is something that's not very interesting to talk about, but it's extremely important, because sometimes you can actually rank sites without any links. You can just rank them with quality content. In niches where there's not much competition or medium competition, you can do so. I have done it, so it's possible. But most sites, the truth is that local companies and businesses, be it plumbing, dentists, plastic surgeons, clinics, etc., have little to no content, which is not a point in their favor. So the more content, the better, of course, to some extent, and I'll show you why that is in a minute. Also, in that same content, you need to include some relevant images and videos. Of course, again, little clues you're giving Google that your site is relevant to a certain theme. And I'll talk about later on how to optimize those images and videos so that Google knows that they are about your niche. Okay. Then you need to have external links to sites like Wikipedia, newspaper sites, blogs, etc., that are authoritative in your industry, because Google values the sites we link to throughout our site. So it's good to link out to other high authority sources in our niche from the page we are trying to rank. And again, I'll talk later on about this. Then, of course, you need to sprinkle your keywords throughout your content, just like we talked about. And again, interlinking. So it's very important for the power of links to flow. We can go back to that diagram I showed you before. But because if the pages are not linked to each other, the power of links will not flow from one to another. So it's very important you do so in order to maximize the link juice you are pointing to your website. And something that's also important is that most of the links will be sent to the homepage, just like in a regular website. So we have to make sure that the homepage is linked to the page you're trying to rank, in order so you can take advantage of that link juice as much as you can. But regarding the long and detailed content, here's two graphs from backlink.com where they clearly show that covering several topics in your content is the best. Okay, so on the left graph you can see that the number of words. So also you have to have the long and detailed content, and it has to cover several topics. But on the graph on the left, you can clearly see there's a correlation between the number of words on a page and its position. So position 1 and 2 in Google are sites that have content within about 2,000 words. Okay, and then the topic coverage. So how many topics do you talk about on your page, on your site? So position 1 and 2 is around 8 to 9 topics. I'm going to give you an example. So let's say you're working with a dentist and you want to rank a page or your site for that dentist. You need to not just, let's say you want to rank for best dentist in New York City or any other city, for example. Let's just say New York City. Don't just optimize your content for where to find the best dentist in New York City. What's the best dentist? Best. Don't just do that. Create a page and talk about how to clean dental braces at home, for example, where to find a dentist, what are dental implants. Talk about several topics. Don't just talk about one topic. And what this will do is make this page rank easily for other terms. So again, remember the keyword research we did. We came up with several keywords. So you don't want to optimize one page for one keyword. You want to optimize one page for multiple keywords. And that's why you have long content, and that's why also you cover several topics. Of course, you can pay someone to write the content for you. We'll be covering that later on, but this is what I wanted you to really focus on. You want to make sure that you create a page and don't just target one keyword, target several keywords. Make sure that content is long and detailed, have bullet points, have images, have everything. Again, on the practical lessons, I'll be showing you exactly how that's done. And make sure also you cover several topics. Now, videos and images, this is pretty straightforward. This is again a graph from backlink.com showing you that the percentage of pages that contain at least one image in the search results are the ones that are ranking higher. So again, you need to of course include images. This is just to prove that what I'm saying actually is proven and was tested. So I'm not just saying this with any proof to back it up. Now, basic plugins and themes. So regarding plugins, there's one that's called Yoast SEO, which is for internal optimization. Again, we'll be doing this. I'll be covering exactly the steps you need to take and how to actually use Yoast SEO. But this is just a basic plugin that allows you to edit the meta descriptions of your page with extremely ease. So that's the first one you need. Then a theme. Any theme is good. I mean, any theme except the ones that the base theme. Okay, so don't just choose a basic theme, and don't choose a theme that has a lot of links to the creators. Okay, so there are several themes that when you install on the footer have a link to the guys that created the theme. So make sure you don't use any of those themes. But basically any theme works. Okay, the main idea here is just get started. Okay, don't just wait around, don't look for things, just install any theme and install SEO, Yoast SEO. I'll show you some other plugins that need to be installed when we're doing actual on-site optimization, but as of now, just install Yoast SEO and install any theme that you feel like works best for the niche you're working with. So if you're working with a dental clinic, install a theme that is related to dentist. Okay. Now, the platform we'll be using is WordPress. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's one of the best and most intuitive platforms out there to build sites, and most sites on the internet are built using WordPress. So that's the platform we'll be using. And this covers it. I hope you got an idea of the theory behind this all. On the next videos, we're going to put this all in practice, so it will be easier for you to understand what we're actually doing. Okay? See you there. Hey, welcome to the practical lessons on site setup. It's going to be a 2-part long video. That's because this is a subject that's quite specific, where you need to pay very close attention. But with these practical videos, you're going to be able to follow along while I build the site from scratch alongside with you. So, like I said, I'll divide this practical part in 2 parts. The first being the setup of your site. So from the purchase of the domain to the hosting to connecting them both with each other and installing WordPress. Okay. Again, there are several platforms. The best known being Wix, Weebly, and WordPress. But we're going to be using WordPress, like I said, which is the most intuitive one and the most used, and it's also totally free. Now, the second part, this is the more technical part where you need to pay very, very close attention, and this is the most important part of the two. Okay, so you'll be able to see exactly what I'm doing, as well as all the techniques and little things you have to do in order to build and optimize a site in the best way possible. This is plugins you need to install, the first page, the content. This is more of the on-page side. The images, the videos, how to upload images in the best way possible, the external and internal link building strategies that you need to do, featured images, service areas, contact pages, terms and conditions. This is to give your site a little bit of more trustworthiness in Google's eyes. Basically everything you need to do to get your site set up in the more technical aspect. So that being said, the next video is going to be the first part, so it's going to be this one right here. If you already have it set up, you can skip it and go straight to the second part. If not, I recommend you do it, and yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Hey, how's it going? So if you're watching this video, you probably want to set up your domain and hosting and interconnect both, and then install WordPress, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do right now. So for this, I'm using Namecheap. They're affordable, and I've been using them for years now. So this is the one I definitely recommend either to buy domains as well as buy hosting. You can use GoDaddy or any other one, but I recommend Namecheap only because I've been using them for years. So what you're going to want to do is, of course, create an account and let me log in mine. And once I'm there, I'll be back. Okay, so I'm in. I'm gonna have to blur out all these domains, but what you're gonna want to do is go to domains, domain name search, and this is pretty straightforward. You just write the domain name you want to buy here. So we're gonna do plumbing NYC. Let's see if this one is actually registered already or not. Probably yes. Sorry about that. .com. Again, this is the site I'm going to show you how to rank and how to build. I'm going to do an exact match domain, just like I told you, but you can do a branded domain. So let me think. Let's do plumbing. Let's do like this. Okay, so 24hourplumbernyc.com is available. Let me just see if this one is available as well. Probably not. Yeah, it's not. So let's just do it like this. Okay, and you're gonna add it to cart. And regarding hosting, you can do this one right here, which is for WordPress hosting. Okay, monthly prices are first month 84 cents, and then this is actually in euros, and then €3 per month. It's actually pretty cheap. So just gonna add it to cart as well, and then we're going to check out. Now, as you can see here, I have this Google Chrome extension that's called Honey, which will search for coupons. It's a totally free extension. You can install it as well. It's just going to apply coupons automatically. Let's see if any of these work. And yeah, looks like we saved $1.50. Okay, so this coupon actually worked. And what you're gonna want to do right now, so 1 year, who is guard enabled, okay, monthly, and yeah, that's it. So you're gonna confirm the order. I'm gonna buy it and I'll be right back. Okay, so just bought the domain and the hosting. You'll be redirected to this page right here, and just go ahead and click on manage here on the domain name. Okay, so because you bought Namecheap hosting, and because you bought the domain and the hosting on the same on Namecheap, you don't need to touch this. Okay, so just leave them as Namecheap basic DNSs. Okay, and now because you bought that easy WordPress installing, you just click on apps right here on the bottom left corner. So right here, click Easy WordPress. This is pretty straightforward, but I'm gonna do it with you. Just click Setup WordPress. Website name, let's do 24hour plumber NYC. Continue. right here. On this page, you're going to click here, your domain from Namecheap, so the one you just registered. Continue. Now, plugins you need. Let's just do Yoast SEO because, like I told you before, we're going to need to set this one up. We'll need other plugins, but for now, let's just do this one. And then you click continue. Okay, so it's setting up our site. We just need to wait a little bit, and I'll be back once it's up. Okay, so it's done. You can click here to see some settings, just not really that important. You can see your subscription, when the next payment is, etc. But now, if you click on here, the website will still not be up because we need to wait a little bit for the DNS to propagate. So I'll be back. This will take more or less an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So once once the site is up, I'll let you know. Okay, so our site is up, as you can see here. Hello world. And yeah, just had to wait about 20 minutes. What you're going to want to do right now is just type your domain and then wp.admin. And you'll be redirected to the, oh, sorry about that, admin. You'll be redirected to the back end of your site. Okay, just log in. And the credentials were sent to your email, so just paste them here and log in. And there you have it. This is the back end of your WordPress site. It's all fully set up. Not going to want to save this. But yeah, you have your site set up and you have the backend where you can manage everything from plugins to themes to pages, posts, whatever you need. So I know this was a quick video, pretty straightforward. And now once you have this, you're going to want to move on to the second part, the second practical lesson, where we'll be going into more detail on everything regarding building your site. Okay, so I'll see you there. Hi, welcome to this quick video. I actually recorded this later on because I wanted you to have a better understanding of the how behind on-page SEO and also the why. Why is it so important? So again, most people, not most people, but some people focus solely on off-page SEO, so they just build links and don't focus any of their time on the actual on-page SEO. And this is a problem because, like I said, you can just rank a site without links. You can just rank a site with a quality on page. So let's just get straight into it. I wrote this here, everything here on purpose because I want you to read it with me so you can pay close attention. So quality content, high quality content actually. Why is it important? It's important because when you reach the first page, other factors become relevant to reach the top 3 positions, such as the bounce rate and the time a user spends on the site. So your site won't stay on the top 3 if people click and immediately walk back and click another site. So let's say you have a site, and I talked about this already, but if you're ranking number 1 and people click on your site and they don't find what's over there valuable, they'll most likely click off and click the second result. And if many people do this over and over again, Google will say, oh, why are you ranking this site first if people just bounce back? So they start ranking the second site over yours and the third site. Okay, so it's important to have quality content that people want to read, and spend time on your site doing so. Because again, if people bounce off your site a ton, Google will rank the ones behind you higher. So even though you have more backlinks, you have more everything regarding off-page, if your on-page isn't good, even though if you have more things regarding off-page, if your on-page isn't good, that can impact your rankings as well. Another thing of having high quality content is when your site starts to get ranked, you'll see that you'll start receiving links from other sites. And this only happens if you have high quality content and educational and interesting and helpful content that people want to link to. So this is the big picture of why you need high quality content. Don't just focus on backlinks, also focus on content because it's important for people so that people don't bounce back off your site and so that you get more backlinks in the future. Now, regarding on-page optimization, why do you need it and what it is? So we've talked about this, but again, your keywords need to be used enough and in the right places. So in the H1 titles, H2, H3, etc., in the first paragraphs of your content, in the alternative texts of your images, in the descriptions, etc. And this is actually more of an art than a science. No, you shouldn't spam a keyword dozens and dozens of times on the same page. But let's say if you have a 4,000 word article and you have the keyword best toasters on there, and you only have it just 2 or 3 times, one in the title and one in the body of the article. If you're doing this, you're doing on page completely wrong. So you have to have some sort of sensibility. So if you have a 100 word article, of course, if you include your keyword 10 times, it will be a bit fishy, okay? But if you have a 4,000 word article, you can include your keyword more times. Just write your articles in a way that doesn't look spammy and that looks real, okay? So you need to have this sensibility, so don't just spam your keyword hundreds of times on your articles, okay? You have to include your keyword enough times in a way that's natural, as well as your long tail versions and exact matches and branded keywords, okay? Now, regarding interlinking, again, why and what is it? So I know we've talked about this before, but I can't stress this enough. You need to interlink your pages. Your homepage needs to be connected with the page you're trying to rank, as well as the contact pages and everything. Everything needs to be interlinked in a way that makes sense, okay? So that when you send a link to your homepage, the power gets transferred to all the other pages. So you need to interlink everything in a way that makes sense. I know I'm repeating myself, but do not forget to interlink your site. Okay, this is how you can best benefit of all the links that will be built to your site and to all the pages on your site. Okay, that said, this is what I wanted to talk to you about. Make sure you have a proper on-page SEO done. Don't just focus on off-page SEO. Don't just focus on backlinks. Also focus on on-page SEO. Okay, talk soon. Bye-bye. Hi, so in this video I want to give you a quick introduction to links and how to build your first links. I want you to understand what is a link, okay? Where can you place links, examples of links being built, and where you can get your first links. But before that, I want you to understand that there are 3 ways of building links. You can build them manually, which is safe but slow. Safe because you are the one choosing the places where you're getting links from, so if you know the best places, it will be completely safe. Slow because it's a manual process, and all manual processes are slow. Then you can outsource them. Also outsource your link building, which is fast and safe only if you know where to buy. So if you go, for example, on Fiverr and buy 100 links for $5, the quality will be trash. So it's only safe to buy links and to outsource them if you know what you're doing. And I'll have a module later on the course, which is just about outsourcing, so you can understand how to evaluate sellers and how to evaluate if the links are good or not. But basically, if you're paying under 10 cents per link, it's probably not a good link. Now, the last way to build links is using tools, which is risky and I do not recommend. Some tools are GSA, SEO Nuke, which you've probably heard about, but basically these are tools where you push a button and the links are built automatically. This is risky and I do not recommend you use them, only in the right places. But again, I'll have a video detailing what GSA is, for example, and you'll understand when to use these softwares. But the idea here is you need to build links manually and outsource them if you know how to do it. Now I want to explain to you the types of links that exist. I'm gonna click each one of these and show you a live example. But before I do so, I want to explain to you what these are. So comment links, it's pretty straightforward. Is a link on a comment of a website. So imagine you have a post and someone comments and leaves a link back to their website. That's a comment link. I'll show you in a bit how they actually are. Web 2.0s, they allow you basically to create a website in a blog style. So, example, links from Blogger, from Weebly, Tumblr, Wix. Okay, so these are Web 2.0 properties. Again, I'll show you in a bit a live example. A guest post, which is basically when you contact the owner of a site and ask them if they want to place your article on there. So a guest post because you're acting as a guest who wants to post on a certain website. But again, I'll show you a live example in a bit, and I'll have several videos regarding this link building technique, which is guest posts, and how to approach people and how to approach website owners to, in fact, post your link over there. Then you have .edu and .gov links, which are links from educational or governmental sites, which in theory are the most powerful sites. So it's quite difficult to get links from these domain extensions. And again, I'll show you an example in a bit. Then we have social media links, which is, again, pretty straightforward. It's links from, say, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So basically links from social platforms. Then we have all of these, which I put together, which are video links, audio, article, image, slide, and slide links, which are basically links from, let's say, video links are basically links from places where they allow you to submit your videos. So YouTube, Vimeo, Flickr. For example, audio links are links from music sharing platforms. so SoundCloud, Spotify, where you can upload a music track and then leave a link and place a link back to your site. Then we have article, which are PDF links. Basically, these are websites that allow you to share PDFs, so you can upload a PDF there with a couple of links inside of it, so you're getting link juice back to your site. Slide links, more or less the same thing, and image links, the same thing as well. Again, I'll show you an example in a bit. Then we have press releases, and I'll have a video just for them, but let's just go over it a bit fast. So basically, a press release is when you submit an article to a syndication service, and that syndication service spreads your article across the whole internet. And if people who see the article find it interesting, they can put it on their website, and of course a reference where it came from, which was your site. This is in theory how this works, but of course if you're working with a plumber, for example, even if you post a press release about plumbing services, most likely the people who see your article will not link to it, because it's quite hard to get someone interested in plumbing. Okay, so but I'll have a video detailing how press releases work in the future in the course. But for now, you need to know that a press release is basically when you submit an article to a syndication platform, and that syndication platform syndicates it and shares it all over the internet and places it on other websites. Now, PBNs, private blog networks. You probably heard of them, but basically it's where you build your own blogs and create your own network. But I think I have 3 or 4 videos detailing only PBNs and explain to you what they actually are. So don't worry about them now. And then we have expired domain links. And I'll have a video on this as well, but an expired domain is basically a domain that was registered before, and the person who had it stopped paying for it, so it went expired. So if no one registered that domain again, so if we don't renew the domain, it will be expired. And what we do here is we look for domains that have expired that had high metrics. Let's say, for example, there was a very famous dental clinic in New York City, and the guy forgot to renew his domain, and the domain got expired. What you would do is you'd register that domain and then place a link on that site back to yours. So the idea here is that those domains are extremely powerful. You need to look for extremely powerful expired domains, register them, and then link them to your site. But we'll have a video later on that, and we also regarding the PBNs and expired domains, you combine them together. So the domains on your PBN are actually expired domains. But we'll cover that in the future, in a future video. For now, I want to take you along these examples, and let's first start with the comment links. Okay, so link examples. The first one I wanted to show you was comment links. So we're here at this blog, this SEO blog, and as you can see, he wrote a blog post, and if you scroll down to the bottom, all the way to the bottom, you can see there are people leaving comments. Okay, and it's pretty simple. A comment link is a link from a comment. So on a blog post, this is a comment, which is a reply, and he left a link on the reply. So this is a comment link. Pretty simple, I know. Now, Web 2.0 links. Like I said, WordPress, Weebly, Wix, these are all Web 2.0 properties. So Web 2.0 link is a link from one of these properties. So as you can see, this is a free WordPress blog, and they have a link here. I don't think it's here, but they might have a link, I'm sure they do, to their website. Yeah. So Leaky Gutters goes to, actually this one goes to WikiHow. Yeah, right here, they have a link back to their company. Okay. So this is a Web 2.0, a link from a Web 2.0. It can be WordPress, Weebly, Tumblr, Wix, etc. This was just an example. Now, a guest post. This is actually a Portuguese news site. Okay, and what you do is, again, I'll have a later on I'll have a video just on guest posts. But basically, you get in touch with them, in this case a news article website, and ask them if they can post a link on your site, on their site. And this is the post they posted here, and with a link back to a site. And let's just check if it's do or no follow, and it is actually do follow. And again, I'll explain this in a bit. Now, edu and gov links. I only have here an example from an edu link, but as you can see, this is a .edu domain. We have here an article, and then you'll have a link to their site, which is probably somewhere here hidden. Okay, so it's here. Okay, so this one links back to their site. Okay, so this is a link from an .edu domain. Simple. Now, video links. Again, like I told you, YouTube, Vimeo, etc. All these websites allow you, when you upload the video, to leave a link back to your site. Simple. Then you have audio links. So SoundCloud, for example, allows you to upload a track and then leave a link back to your website. Pretty simple again. Now, PDF links. So these again are PDF sharing sites which allow you to upload your PDF and include a bunch of links inside of them and upload them to these sites. Okay, you can also add a description, but the links really come from inside the PBN. Inside the article. So if you click them, you go straight to the website. Now, image links, again, it's the same thing. You upload an image and you can leave a link on the description of the image. Pretty simple. You can use sites like Imgur, and there are many others. And finally, slide links, which, for example, SlideShare, which is a pretty known platform, allows you to upload slides, and you can upload slides and again have links inside of the slides. I don't think they're clickable right here. I mean, I think they are. I think you have to do it in full screen. Yeah, exactly. It's clickable. Okay, so pretty straightforward. These are just some of the links you can create. And again, I'll have we're going to be having more detailed videos on this. But I just wanted you to have an overview of what types of links there are. Okay, and again, you are not going just to create one link on each of these types of links. So if you're talking about video links, for example, you're going to create links from YouTube, Vimeo, Flickr. So the idea here is that you know what types of links there are, and then search for platforms where you can get these links. Okay. And now something really important is the distinction between do follow and no follow links. Okay, so when your site receives a link, or a page on your site receives a link coming from another site, that page will receive a small push in the rankings. So imagine that each link we have pointing to our site is worth 1 point. So basically, the more points we have, the higher we will be. Foda-se, caralho. So now something really important you need to understand is the difference between do follow and no follow links. So when your site receives a link, or a page on your site receives a link coming from another site, that page will receive a small boost in the rankings. That's why we build links. So imagine that each link that we have pointing to our site is worth 1 point. Basically, the more points we have, the higher we will be in the rankings. And that's the idea. So a do follow link is links that count as points. As I said, the more points, the better. In do follow links, the power is transferred from the site that is linking to us to ours. On a no follow link, they don't count as points, but they can help generate traffic to the site and also generate authority. So for example, links from Wikipedia are no follow. Links from Facebook are no follow. But they are still important because they pass on authority. So you can ask me, why do you have no follow links? Because it's good to have a mixture between follow and no follow links, so that Google realizes that you're not trying to manipulate the search algorithm. So you need to have a link building profile that looks natural. So like I said, links from Wikipedia, Instagram, Facebook, and many other authoritative sites are all no follow. However, they're still very powerful. So basically, in short, you need a mix of two, mix of do follow and no follow. And I'm going to show you an example how to check if a link is do follow or no follow. So to check if a link is do follow or no follow is pretty straightforward. Let's just say we're here on Wikipedia, and like I told you, Wikipedia has no follow links. Actually, there's zero link to a website, to this plumbing company, which is one of the, I think, most famous ones in London, I think, established in 1979. So here you go, there's a link to their site. But how do you check it if it's do follow or no follow? Simple. Just hover over the anchor text, right-click, and click Inspect. This might be different on Windows, but it won't be much different. As you can see, it has a tag saying no follow. It's pretty simple. This is how you check if it's no follow or do follow. Now, when it's a do follow link, it doesn't say do follow. It just does not say no follow. And I'll show you here. So for example, this site right here, there's a link, for example, right here, which links to an organizational website.org. So again, you right click it, inspect, and as you can see, you only have no refer and no opener, which it really doesn't matter. So you don't have no follow. Okay, so do follow link doesn't say no follow link says no follow. It's really simple, and this is a good way to check if a link is do follow or no follow. And finally, you can outsource everything. So every link you saw here built, you can outsource it. So if you know of sites where you want to get links, you know they are good links, but don't want to have the work to place them there manually, you can pay someone to do so. Or for example, if you don't know of any sites that are valuable and need someone to search and find those sites for you, you can also pay someone to do that. So, but it's important to know where to find good sellers inside these platforms. And again, like I said, I have an outsourcing module later on in this course for you to understand how you can actually buy quality links. Okay, just keep this in mind that you can outsource the link building part, which is the most time-consuming part. And yeah, that was it. I hope this made sense, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, how's it going? So today I want to talk to you about the percentages and types of anchor text. And before I talk to you about that, you need to know what an anchor text is, and I'm sure you know by now, but I'm just going to refresh your memory. An anchor text is basically the text that's clickable on a web page that redirects you to another page. Okay, so most of the times it has a different color. You click it and you're redirected to another page or another site. Now, when building links, it's important to keep in mind what anchor text we use, okay? Because if we use 100% exact match anchors, which I'll explain in a bit what they are, you're probably going to be penalized, okay? So before moving on to those examples, these percentages here, as you can see, branded anchors are 70%. You should use them 70% of the time, while exact match anchors, you should use them less than 1% of the time. And again, this is just for you to have a point of reference. You don't have to do this by these exact percentages, okay? This is just for you to know that you must use branded anchors most of the times, while exact match anchors much less of the times. Now, it's important to know where to use them, where to use each. That's what I'll cover later on. Now, so let's say your site is bakerbrothers.plumbing.com. Okay, and I think this is an actual site. I just wrote Plumber Dallas in Google, and this was the one that appeared. I'm not in any way affiliated with them, but let's say that's your site. So your main keyword would be Plumber Dallas, because you're a plumbing company in Dallas, and that's the keyword that has the highest search volume in that niche. So your main keyword is Plumber Dallas. Branded anchors would be the name of your company. So Baker Brothers Plumbing, Baker Brothers Plumbing with a capital B. Again, Baker's Brothers Plumbing all in capital letters, and Baker's Brothers Plumbing Company. These are branded anchors. They are the name of your brand. Now, naked link anchors. This is just the naked URL. So bakerbrothers.plumbing.com and the full URL with the HTTPS. Okay, these are naked anchors. Now, you also have generic anchors. These are something like click here, learn more, visit our website, see our services. So basic generic anchors, generic words. Okay. Then you have partial match or long tail versions of your keyword. So if your main keyword is Plumber Dallas, a long tail version will be Plumber in Dallas or Best Plumber in Dallas. And as you can see, the keyword Plumber Dallas is still included in those long tail versions of the keyword, but with some words in the middle. Again, number one plumber in Dallas, plumbing company in Dallas, Plumber Dallas, Dallas Plumber, etc. They're long versions of your keyword. And finally, the exact match keyword, which is the main keyword, is Plumber Dallas. But now, the why. The goal here is to use little exact match anchors and partial match anchors on the weakest links, so you can use them on the strongest links like PBNs and guest posts. And this, now you can ask me, why don't we just use exact match and partial match anchors on all of the links, on both the weak and the strong? It's simple, because if we only use exact match and partial match anchors on all of the links, we would be penalized by Google for not having a diversification in our anchor text. It will not look natural. This is because it's very suspicious. Sorry, for example, a site about dentists in Dallas, just to have links pointing to the site with Dallas dentist. So the anchor text only being Dallas dentist, so only the exact match anchor. this is a red flag for Google, because Google sees that you're clearly trying to do SEO and manipulate the rankings, so it will penalize you. So it's important to have diversification in your anchor text, and it makes much more sense since you have to play with the percentages. So since you have to use exact match anchors and you can only use them in about 1% of your links, it only makes sense to use them in your more powerful links. So if you're building a link from, let's say, a comment link, for example, you would not use your exact match keyword, okay? You would use a branded anchor, or just a naked URL, or a generic anchor, okay? Because you have to make the most out of your links, and you sort of have like a quota you can't reach. So let's say you can only you're only building 100 links. So this means you can only use one of those links with an exact match anchor. It would not make sense to use that exact match anchor in a comment link, because it's not really that powerful. It would make sense to use it in a PBN or a guest post. Okay, I hope this makes sense. Again, imagine that you have a certain quota or a certain number of limit of exact match anchors and partial match anchors that you can use. And as you know, exact match anchors and partial match anchors are keywords that you want to rank, that you want your site to rank for. Okay, not that you don't want your brand name to rank as well, but most likely you want people to reach your site by searching your exact match keyword, because most likely people won't search your brand on Google and won't search your URL on Google. People will just search the exact match keywords or the long tail keywords. So for example, plumber in Dallas. Okay, and again, imagine if you want to build 100 links or 20 links with exact match and partial match anchors. It wouldn't make sense to use those anchors in weaker links, okay, because it would be sort of a waste. Okay, so make sure you follow these percentages and use only branded anchors and naked link anchors in your weaker links, and leave the partial match anchors and the exact match anchors for your most powerful links. Okay, and I hope that made sense. This is sort of an image that explains what I just said. Basically, the top one is what you do not want to do. So as you can see, they built 6 links, and 4 of those 6 links, so more than 50%, is exact match anchors. So that's what you don't want to do. On the other hand, on the bottom, the green one, they built again 6 links, and only one of them is an exact match anchor. As you also have branded, you also have generic, you also have naked link anchors. Okay, so there's a mix. So again, these are the percentages, and again, you don't have to follow this exactly. It's just for you to have a generic idea of what you need to more or less follow. Okay, I hope that made sense, and I'll see you in the next video. Hi, so in this video I want to explain to you the difference between Black Hat SEO versus White Hat SEO. The idea is that when you're doing White Hat SEO, you're following every single guideline and rule that Google gives you, and when you're doing Black Hat SEO, you're only following some to no rules. Now, like I said, when you're doing White Hat SEO, you follow exactly the rules Google gives you to position your site in the highest positions. So if you're following every single rule, you won't be penalized. So there's no paying for links. So if you want to get links, you need to do it in a natural way. You need to produce quality content that people find relevant and interesting enough so they want to link to you. For example, many websites share links to Wikipedia because Wikipedia has interesting and relevant and important content. So the idea with White Hat SEO is that you create valuable enough content that people find interesting and want to link to your site. Black Hat SEO is the exact opposite. We do not follow all the rules Google gives us to position your site in the highest positions. So, because of that, we are subject to penalties if we exaggerate on these techniques. So it's good to have a mix between White Hat and Black Hat SEO, and I'll explain why in a bit. But in Black Hat SEO, in contrary to White Hat SEO, you can pay for links. So if you want to get links to your site, you can pay for them. You don't have to wait for someone to find your site, find your content, and decide if it's relevant or not and link to you. So strategies like PBN links are considered Black Hat SEO. Doing Black Hat SEO techniques does not imply that you'll be penalized. That's really important. You have, of course, a higher probability of being so because you're taking a higher risk than when using White Hat techniques. I personally mix white hat techniques with black hat SEO techniques because it's the most effective way to get a site actually ranked in Google. And you must take into account, of course, that there are ways of doing things and we should never abuse them. So you should never abuse and do only black hat SEO techniques. I mean, you can, but most likely you'll be penalized eventually. Now, here are some examples of some black hat SEO techniques. Like I said, PBN links are completely black hat, but again, I'll have a couple of videos in this course explaining to you how to actually create a PBN network that's immune to being penalized. Then you have keyword stuffing, which is basically including your main keyword repeated several times in the page you're trying to rank. So you shouldn't do this. You should have your main keyword, your exact match keyword, only a couple of times, and then you should mix it in with long tail versions of your keyword, brand mentions, naked URLs, etc. Then you have camouflage text, which is basically putting your keywords, your main keywords or long tail versions of them, with white letters in a white background. This doesn't make any sense because even though people can see them, Google robots can actually see them, so you'll eventually be penalized. Again, paying for links, it's against Google Terms of Service. And finally, buying reviews on Yelp, Google Trustpilot. This is also considered a black hat SEO technique. And that concludes this video. So it's important for you to know the difference between these two concepts, white hat and black hat SEO techniques, so you can be more in tune with the SEO world. That being said, I'll see you in the next video. Hi, so today I want to talk to you a little bit about PBNs. PBN stands for Private Blog Network, and just as the name says, it's a private network of sites, which means you own all of the sites present in that same network. And the idea here is that, let's say if your money site is about dentists, you'll have a PBN with several PBN sites pointing to that money site of yours. And in theory, your site will rank higher in Google. Now, of course, a PBN is a link building strategy. And it's powerful because we have total control of the sites present in that same network. You have total control of the content that's published in those sites. And you also have total control of the sites that network links out to. So let's say, for example, that you're paying someone else to put a link on their site. If that person decides to link to yours, which is about dentists, but also decides to link to someone else's site that's about porn or gambling, now you have a link from a site that also links to a porn and gambling site, which is not something that you want to do. And also, when you put a link on someone else's site, you don't know if later on they'll remove the link or if the site stops working. So that's the idea behind building a private blog network, is you have total control. And of course, building a PBN may be more expensive than paying someone else to put one link on their website, but in the long run, it's totally worth it. And I'll explain to you why in a bit. So again, why should you have your own PBN? The answer is control. You can control the links, the number of links, which is the flow, and to whom you link to. Something that you cannot control if you put links on someone else's site. You can also control the topic of your PBN according to your needs. So let's say you want to rank a dentist site, you make your PBN relevant to health. You can also control the quality, of course, the quality of the content, the quality of the sites you link to, and the overall quality of the site. You can also control the speed at which you build links, and you can control the outbound links. So the sites your PBN links to. And again, the example of the gambling, if you pay someone else to put your link on their site, you don't know if they're also linking to porn or gambling websites. And that's the idea again behind building your own private blog network. And something else that's very interesting is that in the future you can also make money with your PBN if you decide to sell links. But more on that later on. Some important notes about PBNs. So contrary to many people's belief, PBNs continue and will continue to be effective to rank websites. Of course, you need to be careful about some things that we'll discuss later on while we're building our PBN, but the idea is that you need to build a PBN that looks like a real site. So previously, people used to build PBNs that flat out just looked like PBNs, and Google would immediately detect them and penalize them and the sites they link out to. And to finish off this video, let me just tell you what are the major benefits of owning a PBN. One of the most important benefits of building your own network is that you have complete control over every aspect of your SEO, which is something you don't get when you're paying for links or when you're building links, for example, foundation links on platforms like YouTube, Vimeo, SlideShare, etc. You're dependent on these platforms and what they decide to do. Then, the website topic. You can theme your site whatever you'd like. So if you only work with dentists, it would make sense to theme your PBN network around the health niche. But if you're working with a more broader niche, You can theme your PBN around a site like BuzzFeed, for example, where you have tons of articles around different topics. And then we have quality. So most websites have terrible design, and because you own your network, you have the possibility to make it look as nice as you can. The next one is outbound links. You can choose how many outbound links each site or each page will have. Less outbound links means more link juice, of course. So the less times you link from your PBN to other sites, the more powerful those individual links will be. And in the next videos, I'll be explaining that in a bit more of detail. Then you have link building speed, which means you can control the velocity at which you build links. After that, you have on-page links, and no other strategy allows you to get homepage links, which are the most powerful ones. So homepage links are way more powerful than inner page links. Then you have the possibility to get links instantaneously. So you don't have to be negotiating with bloggers back and forth or buying links and waiting for the guy to publish the article, etc. You can just get a link instantaneously. The PBN is also very easy to manage, so you won't spend much time on maintenance. And like I said before, more money. So you'll be able in the future, if you want, of course, to sell links on your network to other people doing SEO or to other clients. What I want you to retain here is that when you're building a PBN network, if you choose to do so, because you don't need to, I recommend you do so, but you can always purchase links from other people's PBN networks. But if you choose to build your own, understand that you have full control of how the site looks, what sites you link to, the articles present on there, the number of outbound links, the velocity at which you build links, and the capacity to build homepage links, as well as many other things that we talked about today. So I hope you understand what the PBN network is and how it can be beneficial. In the following videos, we'll be going over how to actually build one and how to find sites to actually start building that same network. So that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Hi, in this video I want to talk to you about the Perfect PBN Hosting. And the idea here is that we want to leave as little of a footprint as possible. And that's why we have different tactics of doing things. So these are just the main ones, which I chose to show you because they're the more simpler ones and the more common ones. And let's start with the first one. So if we want to have our entire network of PBN sites in the same hosting company, each PBN website can only link to one money site. And if you do this, your money sites can all be on the same host. The second one is if you want to use different hosting companies for different PBN sites, then you can link to several money sites, not just one. And both of these methods work. You can use either one of them, but I'm going to explain to you why it's done the way it is. The first one, the first method, you can have all your PBN sites and all your money sites on the same hosting, which can be extremely cost efficient. However, you can only link out from a PBN site to one money site. So each site on your PBN, each PBN site, links to one money site. If we have everything connected, from the moment a site is penalized, everything is going to be penalized, both your PBN network and all your money sites. So you don't want to be this guy. You do not want to interlink everything. So if you're going with this strategy, if you're hosting all your PBNs on the same hosting and all your main sites on another hosting, which is the same, so it's not the same as the PBN. So the PBN hosting is for example from Bluehost, and the money sites hosting is for example from Namecheap. But if you go this route, you do not want to interlink them all. You want to do it like this. And remember, different hosts have different IP addresses. And I'll be talking later on a little bit more about IP addresses. But now what you need to understand is that we may have our entire PBN on the same host, so sharing the same IP, but each site in our PBN has to point to different money sites. In this example, all these sites in our PBN are on the same host, which means they share the same IP. But again, they all point to different money sites. So if Google looks at money site A, the only site that it sees it's linking out to it is PBN site A. So if Google decides in fact to get you penalized, it will just penalize money site A and PBN site A, and all the other sites are safe. And that's the main reason why you do not want to interlink everything like this guy right here. Now there's other ways, this way right here. This way you can link from one site in the PBN to several sites and not just one like in the previous method. For this to be possible, you have to have different PBN sites on different hostings. And then there's other ways, of course. For example, you can have all your PBNs on the same hosting, and then you have money sites, each money site on different hostings. For example, we have one money site on Namecheap, another one on GoDaddy, another one on Bluehost, etc., etc., etc. So the importance of IP diversification is something that you need to understand. Basically, IP addresses are publicly available not only to Google, but also to people like us, like me and you. And Google actively monitors websites hosted on the same IP and their connection pattern. So if you host your websites on the same IP, sooner or later, Google will detect that pattern and will penalize your PBN and all the money sites that it links out to. And I want to ask you something. So what do you think are the chances of 20 sites on the same IP to link to your site? So what are the chances of having a PBN network where all the 20 PBN sites are on the same IP linking out to your site? The answer is 0. It's practically impossible, and that's why we need to diversify our IPs. But now a little bit more on IP addresses. And what are C-class IPs? So basically an IP normally has 16 numbers, and in this case on the left you can see there are 4 blocks, so block A, B, C, and D, and that's how an IP address works. And then you have IPs of specialized companies for SEO hosting. There's a couple of them that say they're specialized in SEO hosting, and these companies that say they're specialized for hosting SEO sites are a big red flag. And this is not a good idea. You should not go and host your PBN sites with these quote-unquote specialized companies for SEO hosting. Not only because Google knows what these companies are, but also because the IP they're using are sequential IPs. So they create an easy pattern that Google can easily understand. As you can see, only the last 4 digits, actually only the last digit changes, and this is a big red flag. And then you have unique C-class IPs, and these ones are different. And it's this variety that we want to have. This way it's more difficult to find a pattern. As you can see, it's really hard to find a pattern over here compared to the IPs of specialized companies for SEO hosting. And this is a perfect example of a pattern you do not want to create. These are 4 sites hosted on the same IP, and this will get you penalized. Now, a good hosting, as you can see, it's extremely complex, and we are not creating a pattern like here. Previously, this creates a huge pattern, not only because they're all the same IP, but even if they were sequential, it would create a pattern like which I showed you here. This is what you want to do. It's extremely complex, and you can barely detect any pattern here, which makes it even harder for Google to detect our PBN or your PBN. But what do you do when things go wrong? What would you do if your PBN were to be penalized? Basically, we want to make our PBN as organic and natural as possible. So if or when Google looks at it, it realizes that they are actually real sites that provide value to the community. So, that being said, if your PBN were to be discovered, it could be discovered in 3 ways. The first one is Google finds a pattern, which is the most common. That's why you should not use the specialized SEO hosting companies. You should use different IP addresses. And how do you use different C-class IP addresses? You just put your sites on different hosting companies. So do Namecheap, do Bluehost, GoDaddy. Just spread out across different hosting companies. Not specialized SEO companies, but the regular website hosting companies. The other one is a competitor reporting your PBN, which is honestly quite rare, but it can happen. And finally, this is the least common of them all, which is a Google employee manually inspecting your PBN, which is extremely rare. But what happens next? What happens if in fact you get penalized? The answer is nothing. In most cases and in many cases, nothing will happen. But of course, sometimes in some very odd cases, Google will in fact devalue and make your PBN network useless. Google can also penalize your money sites, and Google can also penalize your money sites and the PBN sites as well, so making them both useless. And how can you prevent this? You can prevent this by building the PBN the right way. And in the next video, I'll show you how you can build your PBN network so you don't have to worry about this. Before that, some quick notes that you must be reminded is that you need to choose top hosting companies. We want to host our websites with companies that people know about. And it's important to understand why we choose a big hosting company, why we choose GoDaddy or HostGator or Namecheap. It's because when they give us an IP, it's one of thousands. So if you're using a smaller hosting company, the IP addresses they have access to would be much less. So that's the main reason why you choose a big hosting company. Of course, you also choose big hosting companies because of the support they give you. You also have live chat, emails, and the uptime, of course, the uptime of their servers. Now, cheap hosting makes sites slower and less secure. That's again another reason why you should use a big hosting company. Again, and I know I'm repeating myself, but you need to use different IPs for different sites on the PBN. So use different hosting companies. You need to include links to authoritative websites, just like Wikipedia, just like we talked about before. You need to diversify the themes and plugins you use in this site, so not having a PBN where the sites are all the same. This just looks suspicious. So don't have a PBN where all your sites have the same theme and have the same wording and have no logo and have nothing. But I'll be explaining this in the next video on how, in fact, to build your PBN network. Then there are plugins to block Google from accessing your PBN sites. And in theory, this is good because Google can penalize what it can see. But the truth is that Google sees that we have something to hide. And so it has a reason to even be more suspicious. So don't use plugins that block Google crawlers. Then you need to create contact pages, terms and conditions, privacy policies, or even social media networks to make your sites look real. Basically, we want to make our PBN look as organic as possible, so that if Google looks at it, realizes it's a real site and not just a fake PBN. Then you need to publish articles with original content. Don't copy articles from other sites and publish them on your PBN. You need original content. You need to make your PBN valuable for readers because, again, you're creating real sites, not fake sites. And finally, this one is a bit obvious, but don't interlink PBN sites because if Google finds one, it will find them all and it will devalue them all and you'll lose all your network and all your hard work will go out the window. That being said, this concludes this video and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, so in this video I want to show you the actual steps in order to build a quality PBN. And at the end of the video, I'll be showing you an example of everything you need to do to make your PBN look as real as possible. Now, if you do the things right, a PBN can become a network of real sites, and that's our goal. It's usually called a PIN, Private Influence Network, because our PBN becomes a site where people will regularly consume content and not just a way to link out to our site that has no value to readers. So the idea is to build a PBN that has value to the readers and in turn will become an actual real site, which will make it even more powerful. And like I said, I want to show you a couple examples, so let's just go through these ones one by one. Starting out with the first one, as you can see, this is a great example of a PBN. And why is that? So first of all, they have a logo, they have a brand. So the brand is consistent with the logo and it makes the site look very, very real. Then they have an home page with several articles. Okay, this is more of a technological blog. They have videos. This is actually a video sponsor. As you can see, they're promoting some sort of streaming service or television. Yeah, television. And this is the most common style of PBN, which is the blog style. In this case, this is being used, I think, more of an affiliate site because they have a bunch of product reviews, which I'm assuming link to Amazon. So this guy's making money off his PBN while linking out to Amazon, so with affiliate marketing, but he's also, I'm sure, linking out to some other sites, making this work as a PBN. If you just scroll down, I'm sure we can find something. This is an inner link. This is a link to an authoritative site, which is ResearchGate, and I'm sure we can find it somewhere inside. Another link, another outside link. Okay, so this article doesn't have anything, but the idea here is that basically you cannot distinguish this being a real blog or a PBN, and this could very well be a PBN. I'm sure there's hundreds of articles, if not thousands of articles here, and the owner of this blog can for sure just post an article and link out to a site he's trying to rank. This is what we want to achieve. We want to achieve a site that looks and feels real. So this is the best example. Now we have another one right here, which is blog style as well, but this is a really trashy site. So this is more or less what most PBNs will look like. And I'll be showing you another bad example in a minute. Now, another good example. This one just looks like a regular site. And it might as well be. It might be a regular site. I'm not saying these ones are PBNs, okay? They can and cannot be. But if they are, they're really well done. And this is what we want to achieve. This is, for example, a travel blog. So let's say you are working in a travel niche. You'd be creating a PBN that looked exactly like this one and linking from this to your site. And as you can see, all of them have some sort of social media proof. So this one right here has as well. And this one might have it on the bottom. Most likely, yeah, social media properties. And that's it. It's quite simple, but it's just a way that we want to do things. We want to make sure the sites look as real as we possibly can. And let's see, for example, this guy right here. I'm sure this Revolut card, he's working as an affiliate as well. So you might have a link here to Revolut, which is, yeah, an affiliate link, as you can see, / João que ajuda. But this guy might as well have an article that links out to another blog working as a PBN link. So again, I know I'm repeating myself, but the idea behind this is that you want to create a site that cannot be distinguished from a PBN to a real site. And now here's a bad example of a PBN. First of all, it's non-secure. Then they don't have a fav icon, which is this icon right here. This guy has one that's consistent with their logo. This guy as well has a plane, which is consistent with the niche of the site, which is traveling. This one right here doesn't have anything. And the best way you can know this is actually a PBN is because they have hundreds of articles on the homepage. You just click next. Of course, you go to another page, but they have hundreds of different articles, and all of them try to have general niches. Okay, so they can post as many things as they want. So if you just click right here on one of these articles, you can see they are linking in a way that doesn't even make sense. So a portion of the archives will request you to put away cash on various activities, and they end the sentence and then have the keyword right here stuffed on the middle of the sentence, where it doesn't even make sense in the context of that same sentence. And this is linking out for someone that wanted to rank their site. And yeah, this is something that we do not want to do. One thing that they try to do good is have ads here. So this is of course a fake ad. You cannot even click it. This is a good idea, but it's very badly executed. You need real ads on your PBNs. They also don't have social media properties, and I mean they have the link to the team creator. So as you can see, they've put almost no effort in their PBN. But this, I can assure you, 99% of the PBNs look like this, and 90% of the links you're buying from PBNs look like this. And they have a bunch of different links to casino sites, not porn, but different industries in a way that doesn't even make sense. So now that we've looked at some examples, again, I want to refresh your memory, and here's what your PBN needs to have. So first of all, it needs to be safe. You need to have an SSL certificate, okay? This goes without saying. It's extremely, extremely important. Then branding, you need to have a logo, which must be or needs to be more or less in line with your fav icon. Okay, so go on Fiverr or whatever and buy a logo for, I don't know, $5 and make sure you get it on there. Then you need some social media properties. These don't have to be active, okay? You don't need to post on them every day. Just post one or twice, and there are also softwares that make this automatic. There's one called Buffer, which you can write, I don't know, about 100 posts, and then it will syndicate them and post them one per month. So you have 100 months of content. So you have more than 1 year of content automatically syndicated to those social media platforms. But make sure that you have those social media all set up. Just the main ones. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are just the main ones you need. No need to go for LinkedIn and Pinterest. You can, of course, but there's no need for that. Then you can try and include ads. No need to be Google ads, so you don't need to verify your site for Google AdWords. You can just place some video ads or some ad you saw on YouTube from another guy promoting something else. Just make sure you have a category, a place for ads. Because having ads is that extra step that makes your site look even more real. Because remember, you want to make your PBN look as natural and organic and real as possible. And of course, you need multiple pages. Ideally, you want to have the category pages, as well as a contact page, a privacy policy, and a terms and conditions page. These ones you can pay someone to write for you, or you just can find some online that work as templates, and you just have to change your website name. And of course, you have to have interesting and valuable content for readers. Don't just write a 500-word article that talks about something that doesn't make any sense. Make sure you write quality content, quality articles. Because what we're doing here, we're having all this work because we're building something that works long term, okay? Something that 10 years from now will still be working. And something that is extremely valuable, because if someday you want to sell links on your site, if your site looks like this, you can charge a premium for those same links. And these are all small factors, but if you add them all up, this is what makes a site look real. And this is what we want to achieve. Okay, so branding, a safe site, multiple pages, quality content, social media networks, and if you want to go the extra step, you can also put some video or non-video ads. I hope this video made sense, and from now on, when you go out and create your PBN sites, you don't just create them with a default theme and looking like the ones we saw previously. You need your PBNs to look like a real site, because again, you are doing this for the long term. You are building an asset that will be available today, tomorrow, and the years to come. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Okay guys, so I want to go over tiered link building. This is something that's pretty straightforward, which is basically the process of building links to your links and building links to those same links. So let's say your site is here on the top. You have your tier 1 backlinks, which are the most powerful and most safe ones. And then you have tier 2 backlinks, which are the links that links to your tier 1 links. And then you have tier 3 backlinks that link to your tier 2 links. And this is another example of tiered link building. Again, pretty straightforward. You have your website and the links have tiers. So the first tier are the links that point directly to your website. The second tier, the links on the second tier don't point directly to your website, but instead they point to the links pointing to your website. Then you have tier 3, etc. Again, another example. This one has some actual examples. So let's say your money site is on the top. The first links you'll do will be article links, social media profile links, Web 2.0s, and then you have some forum links, for example, some other social links pointing to those links, and so on and so forth. Now, here's a second example. Again, I'm just going pretty quick because this is something that it's quite easy to understand, and there's not much that you need to know regarding this. You just need to know that they are tiered. You just need to know that you can build links in tiers. So what are the benefits of this? So the main benefits is that you can power up your link. So you already have strong tier 1 links. So if for those links you point others, so tier 2 links, you will make them even stronger. And of course, this power goes up to the top of the pyramid. That is, of course, our website. Some final notes. We can use these tiered link building strategies to give more strength to any link we build, either PBN, social networking links, Web 2.0s, etc. And the important thing to keep in mind is that from the moment that we create a link, we should not forget about it. On the contrary, we should make the most of it and try to improve its power using these kinds of tactics. So if you build citations, don't forget about them. Actually, keep on building links to them. Keep on building tier 2 links to them. And we'll be covering this later on in the local SEO module. But this was a quick video that I wanted to record just because I think it's important to understand these small concepts and because I also want to be fully transparent and teach you everything I know. That being said, I'll see you in the next video. Okay, so I want to talk to you about social signals and what they are and why are they important to include in any link building strategy. First of all, a social signal is not a Facebook post or a Twitter tweet, okay? A social signal is a like in that same post or a share or a reaction. So a social signal is an engagement on a social post. So on Twitter, for example, a social signal is a retweet. On LinkedIn is a share. On Pinterest is a pin. As you can see the example I have here, so this is a Facebook post which has a link back to a YouTube video. The social signals are the likes and the shares on those same posts. Now, why is this important? Social signals help increase the rankings of our site. They give social relevancy to our site. Okay? And the number of shares, followers, likes, etc. are an indicator of quality. Another point in favor of social signals is the fact that they can include a link back to your site on that same post. And the idea behind social signals is that Google sees that your site is socially relevant because it's being shared around social media. And how can you tell if you have social signals? There are several social signals checkers online. Just search for social signal checker or free social signal checker, and you'll find something like this where you place in your URL and it tells you how many social signals you have per platform. And this is a great way to know if you already have social signals or not. But how can you in fact get social signals? I mean, the obvious way is you share your site on social media, and if people enjoy it, they'll engage with them and like and comment and share, etc. Just like when you're getting backlinks, if you post an article on your site that's relevant enough and people like it enough, people will start linking out to that same article. It's the same thing with social signals. If you if you make a post on social media that people find interesting enough, people will start to like and share and comment on that same post. And that's the hard way. But just like you can buy backlinks for your site because your content isn't interesting enough, for example, so people aren't linking to it organically, you can also buy social signals. Hey guys, so in this video I want to go over a link building strategy called Google Entity Stacking. And you've probably heard of it, but if not, I want to explain to you how it works and why it's beneficial. Basically, the idea here is you stack different Google properties, different Google entities. So Google has Google Slides, Google Docs, Google Drawings, Google Sheets, Google Forms. It lets you have a site called Google Sites, Google Drive. So what we're going to do is create all of these properties and interlink them all while giving out valuable information. And these are the properties. So you have Google Sites, just like I told you before, a Google Public folder, which belongs to the Google Drive, which is where we'll put everything once it's done. Then you have Google Presentation, which is Google Slides. You have Google Documents, Spreadsheets, Drawings, My Maps, and Forms. And to make this link building strategy even more powerful, we built tier 2 links to these properties. And in order for the link juice to flow, of course, we have to interlink them all together. I'm going to show you an example right now. So here we are. This is the Google site. This is the main hub from where everything will be interconnected. Again, this is totally free to create. You can just go to sites.google.com, I think. Yeah, new, and you create one for totally free. And then you can make this look as pretty as you want. You can make this look a bit more appealing because this one is not the prettiest one. And what we'll do here is, just like a normal site, you're going to create a site and talk about your subject. In this case, basement waterproofing. It's a basement waterproofing company in Toronto. You're going to write an article. You're going to add images. Okay, you want to make sure that the image file is named after your keyword. Let's see if this guy did it well. Yeah, of course. Okay, the name here, Basement Waterproofing Services Toronto, which is great. The alt text, fantastic. Then you can also have videos. In this case, this is a video embed of a review of their services. And keep on going down, images, and where it gets interesting is here. So as you can see, this is from Google Slides, which is another Google platform. And what you do is embed the Google Slides inside your Google Sites. And as you can see, you can have links inside the Google Slides, which are clickable. And of course, this is completely free to create. Just go and write Google Slides, and you can create a free Google Slides right here. So just create a presentation, make sure you have valuable content in there, and insert links back to your website. Then if you keep on scrolling down, you have these links right here, and you don't have to do it this way. This is just the way this guy did it. And these links link out to a Google Docs, another Google Docs, and I think these are all Google Docs, if I'm not mistaken. These are Google Docs, and these link out to the social media platforms. This is a Google Doc as well, Facebook. This one is a Google Maps. Okay, this one is a Google Maps from the business. And I think you're more or less understanding what's happening here. We are basically interlinking everything using Google properties. Then this one right here, this is a Google drawing, which also has clickable links. And if you keep on scrolling down, this one is a Google Sheets, which has the Google Docs inside, the presentations, the drawing, the site. So again, we are interlinking them with each other. So the site links to the sheets link to the site and to the docs, and everything is interconnected. Okay. Then if you keep on scrolling down, we have a Google Forms, which has a link as well for our site. And again, more content, more images, and some related links, which link out to more Google Docs. And I didn't show you Google Docs. This is basically, again, a Google document, which links to either to their site or to another Google property. It has images, it has everything interlinked. And we are using Google's own properties. So this is completely white hat and safe. We have Google Maps right here. This is the actual Google Maps of the company. We have here the address, the name, and the phone number. Okay, right here we have Google. We have their Instagram, their website, their sheets, the site. Again, if you go to the sheets, this will go. The sheets link to the Google site, which links to our site. So everything is interconnected. We also have their logo over here. And if you go all the way up, you can have a sitemap. It just makes everything look a little bit more professional. And this is basically it. Google stacking is a process of stacking Google's own properties. So you're going to be creating sheets, documents, forms, maps, drawings, presentations. Let's go here to the presentation, for example, again. You can see this is a presentation from Google. You are getting links directly from Google back to your website. And I mean, this is pretty straightforward. This is a very common tactic, but I felt like you should learn how, in fact, you can get it done, and what the benefits are. And I'll talk about the benefits in a little bit. But this is extremely easy to create. Just search for all these properties in Google. Search for Google Slides, create a Google Slides, search for docs, create documents, and then interlink them all and build your Google Sites, which is totally free to create. And as you can see, you have a bunch of links pointing to your site directly from Google, and they interlink all together to create as much power as possible. Now, how in fact can you create this? It's pretty simple. You just need to have a Gmail account, a Google Drive, which is free with any Gmail account, and just search for each property on Google and create it. Pretty simple. And I forgot to explain, but basically the Google Drive is where you're going to create a folder and put every sheet, every document, every presentation, every drawing inside of it, just so you can be a little bit more organized, basically so you can have everything in one place. Now let's talk a little bit about power-ups. Of course, with any link building strategy, you can have tier 2 and tier links pointing to them. So the idea here is that you do a Google stacking which points directly to your site because it's extremely safe and it's using Google's own properties. And then you point PBNs to the Google sites or to the docs or to any one of these properties. This way you can be a bit more safe. So if you don't want to point PBNs directly at your money site, just make these stacking as sort of a buffer and then point the PBN links to the properties so that they are not pointing directly to your money site. And then of course you can outsource this, you don't have to have the work, but I feel like it's important for me to show you how things are done and why they're done before you can pay someone to do it for you. But of course, like anything, you can outsource it. And that's it. It was a pretty straightforward video, a pretty simple tactic, but I feel like it's important for you to understand these things. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Hey, so in this video I want to show you another link building tactic. This one is using infographics. And what infographics allow you to do is not only to create links pointing back to your site, but they also allow you to send organic and targeted traffic back to your site as well. So basically, similarly to answers on question sites like Quora and Yahoo Answers, just like the ones we saw previously, infographics can be used to send traffic and receive links to our site. But how does this work? So the goal here is to create a valuable infographic so that other sites want to post it on their site. So let's say, for example, here on the right, you have an authoritative site, and there's an internal page where they actually post your infographic. They will obviously credit you and link back to your money site, which will send it link power and traffic as well, if of course the site is a quality site. And this is what an infographic looks like. I mean, I'm sure you know how they work, but this is an example. For example, let's say for our plumber site. So if we create an infographic about plumbing, in this case what makes a good plumber, I'm sure we can find some blogs or some sites that talk about plumbing from people that are actually passionate about plumbing, and ask them if they want to put our infographic over there. But I'll be talking later on how to actually get that done. The idea here is that you're giving them free content, basically. You are giving them an actual good looking image, in this case an infographic, for them to post on your site at no charge at all. And most of them will actually accept it. And even though you're getting a link back to your site, you should always brand your infographics. In this case, you can see the one on the right has a brand from conversion, so it's always important to brand your infographic. But where do you actually make an infographic? It's pretty simple, it's free as well. It's using a tool called Canva, and let's go over it right now. And this is the tool, it's called Canva. Just go to canva.com, create a free account, and you'll be redirected here. And now just type in infographic and click this one right here, and it will give you templates of infographics already pre-made, which is fantastic. So you can create, of course, a blank template, or you can choose from the hundreds of ones they have here and make it relevant to your industry. For example, let's do this one right here. Just click it, and then let's say if you had a website about, I think gaming, maybe gaming, you just create a valuable infographic here with some stats and some valuable information, and then you're done. Of course, leaving your logo here on the bottom, and yeah, you can edit this. You can change what it says here. Okay, so you can change the images, you can add more images, you can change the colors, everything. And this is basically how you create an infographic. Again, pretty straightforward. It's just a great strategy to actually get links and traffic sent directly to your site. So now what? Now you have an infographic. How do you get it published anywhere? The idea here is you get in touch with sites in your niche and ask them if they want to post your infographic on their sites, on their blogs. It's actually pretty simple. But they can ask you, why should we link to you? Why should we do this for you? And the answer is simple. It's because you're giving them quality content they can show their readers for absolutely free. It's content that they didn't have to work for, which makes it, of course, 100% free. And it's also different from what they usually have. Most of these sites will only have texts and video blogs. Video blogs is actually rare, but none of them will have actually infographics, which is something that is actually very interesting to look at, and it's helpful. So that's why they should actually post your infographic. So they have nothing to lose. You're giving them free, valuable content their readers can actually enjoy for absolutely free. And with this, you're getting not only traffic back to your site, but also a link from them. And regarding the traffic, also just like the Quora and Yahoo Answers, this traffic is targeted since you are posting, let's say, on a blog about plumbers, an infographic about plumbing. So the people that are on there are most likely interested in what you have to say, and they'll most likely click and browse around your site because they're actually interested. And this applies to any other industry. Let's say plastic surgery, for example. You can perfectly get in touch with a blog about plastic surgery and ask them to post your plastic surgery infographic on there, and then to link out to your site. This is a pretty known link building strategy, but I thought it would be interesting for you to know how it works and how to actually create an infographic and what are the benefits of doing so. Okay, I hope you liked this video. That being said, I will see you in the next one. Hi, so in this video I want to talk a little bit about foundation links, and this will be a bit in line with the previous links I showed you, which were the video links, image links, PDF links, audio links, and all those types of foundation links you can build manually or you can outsource, of course, but I want to talk a bit about them and why. So after you've created your social properties with branded anchors, just like I told you, the next step is to make and to create foundational links. And just a quick disclaimer, this image was taken from one of my services, so I had a good quality image to show you. So as you can see, doc sharing links, PDF links, Web 2.0s from WordPress, for example, like I told you, audio links, image links, video links. So everything I talked to you about before is here. Okay, and I will show you in a bit more on this. But foundation links are links that are manually built using Google-friendly properties. Okay, also in authoritative properties, just like YouTube, SlideShare, Blogger, just like the ones that I showed you before. And these platforms, just like the social media platforms where you build branded links, for example, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, will make Google more aware of your brand, of your site. Okay. Now, remember on the branded links, you only use branded anchors. Here, when you want to build a strong foundation, you want to use both branded and naked URL and generic anchors, and only use exact match and long tail versions of your keywords around 10% of the times. Again, notice that both the branded links you created and all these foundation links are mainly the main anchor text used is branded, naked, and generic anchors. This is so, again, you don't reach your quota of exact match and long tail versions of your keyword, because you only want to use them on the more powerful links. And the reason for these percentages is explained in the previous video. So if you want to refresh your memory, you can go there and learn why these percentages are how I'm explaining them here. But I want to go over an example to show you what these foundation links actually look like. Because on the video where I showed you the introduction to links, I only showed you one property. So in video links, I only showed you Vimeo. So here I want to show you all the properties there are where you can build these foundation links. So here's what I wanted to show you. This is a report of one of my services, but that doesn't really matter. What I want you to see here is that, as you can see, you have 10 video sharing links from 10 different video sharing platforms. And if you remember correctly, on a couple of videos ago, I showed you what a video sharing link was, and I showed you one on Vimeo. But there's a bunch of other platforms, and I already opened here some. As you can see, you upload the video to YouTube. This is a pretty simple video. You can add a description and then a link back to your site. And you can do this on other platforms, on other video sharing platforms. Again, upload your video and have a description with a link back to your site. In this case, the link is non-clickable, but it's still a brand mention. Another platform, for example, lets you upload a video and have a link back to your site. And let's just check if it's do follow or no follow. And this one is actually no follow. Okay, no worries. And then again, another platform, in this case Flickr, lets you upload a video, and in the description lets you have a link. In this case, you're gonna have a link with an anchor text which can or cannot be a branded or naked URL or exact match or long tail version of your keyword. And like I said, you want to have about 10% of these exact match or long tail versions of your keywords. So you can also instead of just put URLs, put exact match anchors or long tail versions of your keyword. So most of the sites will only allow to put the URL, but on the ones that allow you to put other things, you might as well go ahead and do it. And this is it. So these are all free properties you can create yourself and start building some more valuable links that will increase not only your site's rankings, but also Google's trust in your site. So these are what we call the foundation links. So after you build all the social properties, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc., you start building these free foundation links. These are links from authoritative properties that Google trusts. So why not build them if they're entirely free and come from authoritative sites? Now, let me just show you the article sharing links, for example. We're just going to open a couple here. So Evernote, for example, pre-authoritative site. As you can see, you can place a link back to your site. This one as well. Okay, article with a link back to your site. So article sharing links, image sharing links again. You have Pinterest as well. I think I showed you Imgur. So you have Pinterest. You have a bunch of different ones. Let's not cover this right now. Web 2.0, like I told you, these are blog sites. So you have Wix right here. You have Google Sites. You have Blogspot. You have let me see. You have Blog Freely. You have a bunch of different blog sites. You can just open one here to show you. As you can see, a simple blog site with a link back to your site. So these are foundation links. Again, PDF sharing links. I can also show you this one. The idea here is that you can see that actually this one was deleted. Not sure why, but I'm sure I can find one that's working. Okay, so as you can see, a PDF file that has clickable links inside of it. Okay, you can actually click this one. I think you have to be in full screen again. Actually no, but I'm sure you can click it if you find a way. But the idea here is that you see that these are what we call foundation links. So after you build your social media properties, you go ahead and start building these foundation links, which are links from strong properties in Google's eyes that are totally free to create. And I do sell this service on Legit. If you're watching this course in 2020, 2021, I'll probably still be selling it. But if not, I'm sure you can find someone that does this anywhere else. But basically, what I'll do for you and my team is build these foundation links manually from these authoritative properties. And again, I know I'm repeating myself, but I just wanted to show you what these properties actually are, and show you that these are the next links you should build. And again, they're completely free. Sorry, you don't have to pay anyone. Just go on these websites, register an account. In this case of video sharing links, upload the video and write a description with your keywords inside and well optimized, and then place a link back to your website. You can do this on video sharing sites, article sharing sites, and all of these ones right here. And that's what I want to show you. It's pretty straightforward, but I wanted you to know that these foundation links are pretty powerful, and they're completely free for you to create and are a great way for you to start diversifying your link profile. These are 100+ links right here, which are again totally free to create. You don't have to pay anyone, and they are a great way to start building some authority on your site, and again diversifying your link profile. That being said, I'll see you in the next video. Okay guys, so I want to go over some link building software. This one is called GSA Search Engine Ranker, or for short just GSA. And what this is basically an automatic link building software. And if you remember, in the beginning of the course, I told you that automatic link building tools are not that good, and they're also a bit black hat and not very safe. So I wouldn't recommend this very much. So why am I talking about this here if it's no good? Basically, GSA builds a lot of links. And the good thing about GSA is that you can build 100,000, 500,000, or 1 million links in a short period of time. And of course, you should not point these links directly to your money site because of the low quality. These links are meant to be pointed to your tier 2 links. Okay, so let's say you have your money site on there on top. These GSA links are meant to be pointed to your tier 1 links or to your tier 2 links. So for example, let's say your tier 1 links are social profiles or citations, for example. you'd be pointing GSA to those links. So let's say you have a Yelp citation, for example, you'll be blasting that Yelp citation with GSA links, with a bunch of GSA links. And that's it, it's simple. But what are the main benefits? The biggest one, and perhaps the only benefit of using GSA nowadays, is to try and index links a bit quicker. So just like I talked in a couple of videos before, you do have tiered link building where it makes sense in a way that the power is transferred. So for example, if you build quality tier 2 links to your tier 1 links, it will make those tier 1 links more powerful. In the case of GSA, if you point GSA links to your tier 1 links or tier 2 links, it won't actually make them more powerful. It will only help them index faster. So the idea with GSA is that it doesn't actually make your links stronger, it just helps them index a little bit faster. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't usually use this very much, just once in a while when I want to force the indexing of a link, or when after a while a link is not indexing, I'll make a blast of links, and by blast I mean I send thousands of GSA links to that same link to try and force an indexation. I know this was a short video, but I wanted to let you know and to be aware that GSA exists and what it is, because many times people associate quantity with quality. So they start building GSA links and pointing them directly to their site, which is completely wrong. I see a ton of people selling GSA links on Fiverr. Of course, they don't say they are GSA links, but they say, I will build 100,000 links to your site. And people think, oh wow, 100,000 links? Damn, I'm going to be number one in a week, because people associate quantity with quality, and that's not the case, at least when it comes to GSA links. And yeah, that being said, I will see you in the next video. Hey, welcome to the penalties module. This is a short module with only 2 videos, I think, but I think it's important for you to understand how penalties actually work. So, there's 3 types of penalties you should worry about. These ones are Penguin, Panda, and manual actions. And I'm going to explain to you what these actually are and the best ways to avoid them. First, penalties have animal names because they are associated with the names of the Google algorithm updates. And updates are usually related with penalties. So when the Penguin update came out, started calling their penalty a Panda penalty or a Penguin penalty. Now I want to go over each one of them, and don't think because Panda and Penguin happened a long time ago that they're not still valuable today. They actually are still very relevant, and that's why I want to explain to you what they actually are and how they actually work. So, the Panda penalty. This update penalized sites with poor quality links and low quality content, and this is pretty obvious. The idea with this update was basically to reduce the number of spammy and poor quality sites there were on Google. And this was the whole thing with this penalty. So every single poor and spammy site was wiped out, and the people that were wiped out because of this update called it a Panda. Because this Panda penalty doesn't actually exist, so Google doesn't actually tell people they were penalized by Panda. They just tell them that they weren't following the rules according to their latest update, which was the Panda update. But now, how can you prevent being caught by the Panda update? It's pretty simple. Just like I told you before in all the previous videos, it's basically not having content on your site that's copied from another site, of course, which is what's considered duplicate content, and which becomes low quality content. Also, make sure you don't have any spammy links pointing to your site or poor quality links. And this is again pretty obvious. You're not going to do this, I think, but if you were to buy links from Fiverr or any other of those marketplaces that sell hundreds of links for like $5, now maybe you're going to think twice before doing so, because you can easily be caught with this Panda penalty. So the overall picture here is that Panda targeted spammy links and low quality content on your site. So if you had spammy links coming into your site and low quality content on that same site, you'll most likely be penalized by the Panda penalty. Now moving on to the Penguin penalty. So the Penguin update looked at links that were pointing to your site. So it basically checked if the links that were pointing to your site are of quality or not, similarly to the Panda update, but it also checked for the anchor text they were actually using. So many people were penalized by the Penguin penalty because they were over-optimizing their anchor text. So let's say they wanted to rank for Dentist Dallas, all the links they'd have pointing to their site would have the anchor text saying Dentist Dallas. And because of this, a bunch of people got penalized, and that's why now you need to take a bit more caution when creating links regarding the anchor text side. Just like I told you in a previous video, you need to do like 70% branded and only 1% exact match anchors. So Again, to not be penalized by the Penguin penalty, make sure you build quality links to your site and do not over-optimize your anchors. Remember, branded anchors about 70% and exact match anchors less than 1%. Then finally, manual actions. These are basically penalties that typically happen when a Google employee has manually looked at your site and evaluated that it was not following Google's guidelines. And these kinds of penalties only happen when you're doing so much wrong that it's required for Google to have an employee actually manually looking through your site and, in fact, penalizing you. And how can you prevent being caught by this manual action? Basically, just follow the rules to the max and do not break any terms and conditions. I can assure you, if you're following what you see in this course or anywhere else on the internet, you most likely will not be penalized by a manual action. It can happen, of course. I'm not saying it won't, but you need to be doing so much wrong that you'll probably be aware that you're doing something wrong. So yeah, but don't worry about this one. It most likely won't happen. And that's penalties explained. If you have any questions, just post them in the group and I'll be sure to answer them as fast as I can. And I'll see you in the next video. Okay guys, so in the previous video I explained to you what penalties were and why they happened, and now I want to tell you how you can reverse penalties if you are in fact penalized or if you get a site penalized. So the first one, if your website is penalized by Panda, how can you actually reverse it? So as you know, Panda is usually linked to on-page SEO. So first of all, let's just look at your site. Let's see if you're using duplicate content or content you just flat out copy-paste from other sites. Let's look at the quality of your site. So if your site only has 2 or 3 pages, if you don't have any contact pages, if you don't have privacy policy pages, basically if your site actually adds no value to the internet. So if your site looks like that, it's probably why it was penalized. Most often than not, sites that are usually penalized are PBN sites because the content they usually use is poor quality and the sites just don't look real, so they don't have contact pages. Basically, the sites just look like how I showed you. They should not look in the PBN videos, they just look fake. So to reverse this, let's just make your site look as real as possible in a way that provides value to the people that actually visit it. And this will most likely not happen on your money site, it will most likely happen on your PBN sites if you do them the wrong way. So if you don't know how to do a PBN site and how to build one, just go back and watch the PBN building videos so you can understand how in fact you can build a proper PBN site. Now, if you get penalized by Penguin, how can you reverse that penalty? So if you remember, Penguin is related with the links that point to your site, whether they're quality links or spammy links, and it also looks at the percentages of anchor text that actually are in those links pointing to your site. So if you're clearly over-optimizing it, you'll be penalized by Penguin. And let me give you an example. Let's say, for example, you actually over-optimize your site and have, and out of 100 links you built, 99 of those links are with the same exact match anchor. Of course, you'd never do this, but let's give you an extreme example. To reverse this, what you'll do is you will reevaluate your link portfolio and select those links that are clearly of poor quality, as well as those links that are over-optimizing your site due to the anchor text being used. Okay, and after you select them all, you go to this tool, which is a paid tool. You go over to linkresearchtools.com/pricing to see the prices. And what this tool allows you to do is you can give them the links you need removed, and they will remove them for you. You can also do this manually. You can also submit them to Google itself, but this tool is more effective. So again, to reverse the Penguin penalty, just take a look at your link profile and take a look at poor quality links and the links that are over-optimizing your anchor text. And this is pretty much it. This is how you reverse these penalties. I'm not going to talk about the manual action because the manual action, you just take care of that using Google Search Console and in fact talking to a Google employee. So that one is pretty straightforward. And I'm also not going to talk about the other ones because you won't be penalized by the other ones. These ones are the main ones, so the Penguin and the Panda. And yeah, I hope that made sense. Again, if you have any questions, just make sure you post them in the group and I'll be there to answer them. That being said, I will see you in the next video.